Because he said, good master. In Matthew 19 and 16, verse 17 said, and he said unto him, why callest thou me good? There is none good but one. That is the Most High. So the Most High is good. The only one that's good. Mashiach didn't even include himself as being good, even though he was perfect, without sin, without iniquity, without wickedness, without evil. But still, even being that way, what did he do? What did he say? Why call me good? I'm not good. Only one good, that's the Most High. That's it. Point blank. But if thou wilt enter into life, if you want to enter into everlasting life, because the man asked him, what good thing can I do to receive eternal life? And he said, if thou wilt enter into life, you want to receive everlasting life, or all you out there that think you have to keep the commandments of the Most High, the laws of the Most High, said, keep the commandments. Can get no clearer than this. He said unto him, which? Mashiach said, thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness. Honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. All those commandments there are dealing with loving the Most High, loving thy neighbor as thyself, excuse me. Because the commandments are based upon loving the Most High with all our heart, mind, and soul, and strength, and love thy neighbor as thyself. All the commandments based upon those two principles. Loving to do the service in honoring the Most High, serving Him, and how we serve each other and love each other. How we love the Most High and how we love each other as the Israelites. The commandments are based upon those two principles. So even the 10 Commandments, the first part is how we serve the Most High, and the second part is how we serve each other. Point blank. It's just you have 613 laws broken upon moral laws, civil laws, the judgment, how we judge each other, moral laws, how we live in amongst each other and loving each other and doing what's right amongst each other, how we judge and bring the judgment of the Most High upon the civil laws. That's the civil laws, that's the judgment. And the ceremonial laws is how we serve the Most High in the holy convocations, the Sabbath and so forth, and all the holy convocations that He give us, and keeping His laws, such commandments, and dietary laws, how we eat properly, as it tells in Leviticus 11th chapter, the clean and the unclean, foods that we can eat and so forth. Pay attention to what it is that you put into your body, because the Most High is, Mashiach is in it, say we're going to dwell within you. So they in us, and you putting abominations in you. That's why I say they're going to consume you, because they don't eat. They don't want to defiled and unclean and abominable being brought into to them. Come on. So symbolically, He's within all of us. So it says in verse 20, the young man said unto him, all these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? So what do I lack? I've been doing this. What do I lack? Let you know from his youth up, let you know that we were following the laws of the Most High as a people. Nobody was saying you got to keep the laws, except for those that follow the Pharisees and the scribes and all of them. You see what I'm saying? Which we read in Mark 7 and 9 over and over again. In Mark 7 and 7, they follow the tradition of men. And they reject the commandments of the Most High. But this man is saying, hey, I did this from my youth up. What lack I yet? Mashiach said unto him, verse 21, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. When the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. He was rich. He went away sorrowful because he had great possessions. You see what I'm saying? So he knew who he was dealing with, why he said what he said. That's why we have to look at this, what it is to be able to change and become that new creature that tells us in 2 Corinthians 5 and 17. 2 Corinthians 5 and 17. Therefore, if any man be Bahashama Mashiach Yahushua, you rolling with Bahashama Mashiach Yahushua, in the name of the Lord and Savior, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. So you can't remain the same. No matter what adventure you done went into, you cannot remain the same in life. You got to change. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. See? We have to change. That's why I go to Romans, the 12th chapter. Romans 12 and 1. I beseech thee therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, mercies, not getting something you deserve over and over again, not getting it, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. Holy, we just read. The law and the commandments is holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. Listen, and be not conformed to this world. You can't be conformed to this world. You gotta hate this world. You gotta look at the world as something that's trying to send you into that lake of fire. Keep you from your name being written in the book of life, that you may see everlasting life. Be not conformed to this world. The world is set up to send you straight to hell. But be transformed by the renewing of your mind. See, a lot of your minds are still caught up in this world. You are a bunch of goats because you love this world. You love the world. And you can say whatever you want to say, but if your actions show that you love this world, he say, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of what? Of your mind, the way you think. That ye may prove that that is that good. What's good? We just read it in Romans 7 and 12. We just read it in Matthew 19 and 17. The Most High is good. The only thing that's good is the Most High. His laws, statutes, and commandments are good. That ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. And that's to do his commandments and not think that you are that because you're doing the commandments. Or don't think that you got your seat in the kingdom already. If so, what number are you? The 1/3. Should know that. What number are you? Or the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. The remnant that's going to be redeemed. The 1/3. Which one are you? I'll wait to hear the answer. That's why we cannot in any way, means, or shape think that we're worthy to be there. Or you fooling yourself. That's why, I read all that the Most High said to Job. I ain't stopped. I'm just Spirit will let me stop. I had to read all of it. That's the Most High saying what he's saying. He's saying to us, every last one of us, just like Job, humble yourself so you don't think that you all that because you are righteous. He said Job was perfect. But he still had this flaw. That's why it tells you, go to Philippians. Go to Philippians, the 2nd chapter. So you know these are solutions that work. It says, Philippians 2 and 3. Let nothing be done through strife or vainglory. Strife or thinking you all that. To be glorified, to be exalted. But in lowliness of mind, you know what that means? Humility, contrary to being prideful. Let each esteem other better than themselves. So you're not going to be looking at exalting yourself. You can look at exalting someone else. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. Let this mind be in you, which was also in h.o.i. He cared about us so much that he came on this earth knowing that he's the Son of the Most High, the only begotten Son of the Most High, and had to die for the sins of wretched us. Filthy, like a filthy rag us. As we have read. As we have read today. That's why we have to really look at ourselves and remind ourselves of how we serve the Most High and what he's saying, what he has said, that those that were so important in life that their name, a book is named after them. That there will be an example to us that live in these last days, that we can follow and find what is marvelous in the eyes of the Most High and what's not marvelous in the eyes of the Most High. Look at 2 Peter 2 and verse 9. The Most High knoweth how to deliver the righteous out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust until the day of judgment to be punished. You hear that? I'm going to read it again. The Most High knoweth how to deliver the righteous out of temptations. He knows how to deliver us out of temptations, and to reserve the unjust, the unrighteous, those that breaking the laws of the Most High, unto the day of judgment to be punished. But chiefly, at the top, them that walk after the flesh in the lust of uncleanness, and despise government, presumptuous are they, self-willed, is prideful. They are not afraid to speak evil of dignities, whereas angels, which are greater in power and might, bring not railing accusation against them before the Most High. But these, as natural brute beasts, made to be taken and destroyed, speak evil of the things that they understand not, and shall utterly perish in their own corruption, and shall receive the reward of unrighteousness. You know what unrighteousness is? Not keeping the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, His rules and regulations, being obedient to the Most High's law, statutes, commandments, and shall receive the reward of unrighteousness, as they that count it pleasure to riot in the daytime. Spots they are and blemishes, sporting themselves with their own deceivings while they feast with you. Then you know they're going to be around us. Having eyes full of adultery, and that cannot cease from sin. That's what they promoting that now. I mean, you got a woman, you don't know if she's going to be with you or not, because the world is promoting these things. You see? But there's a judgment that's coming. You got a man, you don't know if he's going to go out there and get with another married woman or not. In this world now, having eyes full of adultery, he says, because they are the world. The world pushes this. Lust of the flesh. And that cannot cease from sin. Hear that? Cannot cease from sin. Gotta sin. Know you married, but they go out there and sleep with somebody else. And that's death. They cannot cease from sin. Beguiling unstable souls. In heart they have exercised with covetous practices. Cursed children. Hear that? You a cursed child. Cursed children, which have forsaken the right way. You know the right way, but yet still you're going to go against. I mean, that's why I say it's a reasonable service to do what's right in the eyes of the Most High. He tells you in 1 John 5 and 3, for this is the love of the Most High, that we keep His commandments. The commandments are not grievous. You want your name to be written in the book of life? Which have forsaken the right way, verse 15, and are gone astray, following the way of Balaam, the son of Beor, who loved the wages of unrighteousness. And we know the wages of sin is what? Death. So Satan always going to be there to have you follow him. So you got to get him out of your mind. You cannot let him have dominion over you. When you feel it, you feel that negative, you got to rebuke that negative. Or you're going to draw him to you. And all these spirits going to He got enough spirits to deal with you. You know he got a short time to come down with much wrath to bring that wrath upon you. It's going to come upon you eventually. Believe that. Because you don't have the peace of a h.o.d.c, which will rebel him from you. But was rebuked. Hear that? Was rebuked. I just rebuked him for his iniquity. The dumbass speaking with man's voice forbade the madness of the prophet. These are wells without water, clouds that are carried with a tempest, to whom the mist of darkness is reserved forever. But when they speak great swelling words of vanity, like you hear these preachers speaking great swelling words of vanity don't mean nothing, because you don't know who you are, telling you a Gentile, you an Israelite, till you got to speak with tongues, got to be filled with the Holy Ghost, and run around the church like a chicken with his head cut off. You hear the music going, do, 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 do. You get up and start, flapping your wings and running around the church like that's not the Holy Spirit. It's defined in Isaiah, the 11th chapter, the 2nd verse. Read it. It's defined. Bring things back to remembrance. How you remember something when you run around the church? Or you up there shouting because you got problems. You need to call on the Most High. You need to come back and understand, get in order and understand what you need to know so your name can be written in the book of life. Point blank. You ain't come back for no novices. Oh, I was doing this, I was doing that, I was doing this and that, and you heard, have an opportunity to know more than what you know, and you don't care. How you think he gonna care about you when the judgment comes? Oh, you didn't want to know nothing. All that information was available to you. What did you want to know? Oh, it's nothing. You just go back to the basics. Any questions? Nope. So you ain't want to know nothing. So why should I bring you into my kingdom? When you have all these people that have learned this and learned that and learned this and you don't know nothing. Because you was against the Most High's word. And that's all you hear is the Most High's word. But when they speak great swelling words of vanity, they allure those through the lust of the flesh, through much wantonness, those that were clean escaped from them who live in error. You hear that? Think about it. You were once in error, and now here you are, had an opportunity for your name to be written in the book of life and receive the things that we done heard for the kingdom. But you rather choose this world and the lust thereof and the unrighteousness thereof above the power of the kingdom that's promised to us, that's already prepared. We done read it. Already prepared. Immortality is ready for us. But you rather choose the way of the world. Because somebody's speaking to you, they got a good game. They spoke, oh yeah, baby, I love you. Whether man or woman. Words of vanity. Or they talk a good talk. They allure those through the lust of the flesh, through much wantonness, those that were clean escape from them who live in error. You clean escape from them that live in error. But here you going back to those that's in error in the world? And you think you're going to be justified before h.o.d.c when the judgment comes? Where after they have escaped the pollutions of the world, you hear that? After you escape the pollutions of the world, by allowing someone to teach you the unadulterated truth of this Bible, through the knowledge of our power and master and savior of h.o.d.c, they're again entangled therein. You're going to leave and go back out there in the world, whether it's just stepping out there, you don't ever know. Stepping out there in the world, from being in the truth, trying to make it to the kingdom, then you go, I don't like this, oh, it ain't cool, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this, like the world offers. They're again entangled therein and overcome. The latter end is worse with them than the beginning. People don't believe this, but get caught up in this. And you looking at people that have been introduced to the truth, where you can handle the Bible now and say, bring this forth, all the things that has happened between the time that they went to the truth to the time this day, and they cannot. They cannot, because they went back to religion and went back to the world, clubbing and doing the things that the world offers and getting caught up in the worldly things, the lust of the flesh. He says your latter end gonna be worse than it was before he introduced you to the truth. I look at this seriously because it's like, what is it that is something that happened that you were able to have your start in learning this truth? Now, from that start of you learning this truth, how much have you progressed? Or have you, some of you, I mean, there's many that have left and went back into the world and they're lost. That's why it says the end is worse with them than the beginning. You desire a man that knows this Bible, that's in the truth. You desire a woman that's in this Bible that know the truth, trying to succeed in this world to make it to the kingdom, and you go back into the world. He said it'll be worse with them than the beginning. It had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than after they have known it. See, the way of righteousness is to keeping the laws of the Most High. Deuteronomy 6:25 all day long. It ain't going nowhere. Then after they have known it, after you have started looking at these laws, you've been following the commandments, you've been following the holy days and Sabbaths and new moons and so forth, and loving the Most High with all their heart, mind, and soul, and loving thy neighbor as thyself. Been learning to do this. To turn, just listen. For it had been better for them not to have known the way of righteousness than after they have known it to turn from the holy commandment delivered unto them. But it is happening to them, according to the true proverb, the dog is turned to his own vomit again, and the soul, the nasty, filthy, McNasty pig, hog, that was washed to her wallowing in the murk, wallowing in the slop. That's how he look at you, like a dog that licks up his vomit in a nasty, filthy, McNasty hog, pig, that's wallowing in the slop. That's how he look at you. This is serious, people. This is real serious, because you cannot look at this and take it lightly when everything's being written in the books, even our thoughts. That's why we have to really consider what's said here, because go to Matthew 12 and 13. 43. Matthew 12 and 43. Because he said for you to have the opportunity to learn all that you could know before a Mashiach come to judge and make war, and you was learning, and you went back away from being an Israelite to being a Gentile, or going back to some religion, whether you want to accept it or not. If you ain't dealing with being a Hebrew Israelite, and you was an Israelite at one time, now you go back to a Gentile, you fit right into this category. Matthew 12 and 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, that's when you washed. When you washed. You walking through dry places seeking rest and findest none. That's why it tells you, St. John, hold that, get St. John 17:17. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth, right? We know the truth is the laws of the Most High. The word, you can't get the laws of the Most High without the word, right? Got to be words, so it's got to be, word is truth, right? Ephesians 5:26. Ephesians 5:26. That he might sanctify and clean you up with the washing of water by the word. You clean up by the word. Now let's bring it on home. St. John 15:3. Now you are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. See? So, going back to Matthew 12:43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, you're cleaned up. Through the word. The word cleans you up. He walketh through dry places and seeking rest and findeth none. Then he said, I will return into my house from whence I came out. See, I'm going to go back to the body that I left out. When he start getting this word and start cleaning me up with the real unadulterated truths of the Most High, according to, thus say the Most High, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line, there a little and here a little. That's this puzzle, the book of life that the Most High has given us in these last days, bringing forth. Then he said, I will return into my house, the body from whence I came out. And when he come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished. Whereas you can say, hey, what about this? They answering all kind of questions according to the Bible. Verse after verse, scripture after scripture. Now, when he come back, he find it swept, empty, swept, and garnished. Ain't nothing there. Not as it was, as you were in the past. You can't do it anymore. You're not doing the holy convocation no more. You ain't following the Sabbath. You're doing things that's sin and accepting it and talking about the Most High know your heart. Yeah, you know, yeah, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? The Most High know it. He knows. Your heart is your mind. He know my thinking. That's why he said, I know how you think. He told you all of that, eating pork, shrimp, crab, lobster, catfish, and oysters, and all the abominations, everything they eat, boo-boo. He gonna burn you up. Just dietary laws. You that ain't dealing with the moral laws. You're not dealing with the civil laws. You ain't dealing with the ceremonial laws. He gonna burn you up too. That's what it says. He come back, he find it empty, swept and garnished. You're not in the truth no more. You ain't following the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High. That's the truth. You ain't with my shekel. I said, I'm the way to show you how to follow the truth to lead to everlasting life. In John 14:6. For those that have ears to hear and eyes to see. You ain't following that no more. You got your own religion. You got your own type of religion. Comes from the Latin word religio, meaning to hold back, keep down, and restrain you from the truth. That's what it's done. So here it is. He come back. He found it empty. This unclean spirit, swept and garnished. Verse 45. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits. 7 is another number of completion. 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. More wicked than himself. But people say, oh, that ain't me. I've seen it in action. I've witnessed it in action. Wow. Man, unbelievable. But he go get 7 other spirits. That's 7 of the completion. Remember, Legion was how many spirits? 2,000. So no matter how many it take to come for completion, he gonna get 7 other spirits, a complete number of spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. You ain't dwelling with the Most High and my shekel at that time. You finished. He said he gonna get a complete number of spirits, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man or woman is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. So you take that, eat that, chew on that for a little bit. And with that, I'm out. Thaahwam.